How's it going, guys? It's GreaterByTheHour here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a rustic looking edit in Lightroom. And before we start off, hopefully you guys are enjoying yourselves, well, as much as we can, locked inside our homes. Hopefully you guys are staying creative. Like, for example, I've just gone around my house searching for like different items, like this Swiss Army knife, which looks kind of cool. Very loose, very tight in some areas. Some of the actual tools don't want to open up, so yeah, just kind of keep myself active. But hopefully you guys are doing the same, and if you guys are going to use this edit, just link me down. If you're going to post it on Instagram, just tag me at GreaterByTheHour on Instagram, and if you're going to post it on Twitter, at GreaterByTheHour, but with a HR instead of the full hour. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I make a more rustic, realistic looking edit, and it's a bit inspired by Peter McKinnon's Pete's Pirate Life Instagram, but it's not completely ripped off. Let's just stop talking and let's jump into Lightroom. So as you can see, this image, I took this in the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning today, so very early. I don't know why I was up that early. As you can see, very underexposed, and a good key for this is that if you're going to use this preset, use it on underexposed images, because if you do it overexposed, you have to tweak a lot of stuff and then you might not get the same results. So, and it's also a good habit to shoot a little bit underexposed. As you can see, different textures like the pencil shavings, a carafe, my wallet, my leather wallet, this metal thing what I found in the garage, it looked cool, looked very interesting. Paper clips, pencils, just stuff to like add atmosphere on this wooden background. So we go to the exposure slider, we go all the way up to, I say, around that much. That looks good, so it's looking nice. Contrast, we bring up the contrast just a bit because we're going to play around with our own contrast in the shadows and highlights and the whites and blacks. So we go to the shadows, bring down the shadows just a bit. Highlights, I'll bring them down as well. Actually no, I'll bring them up just a bit to around 15. Whites, bring down the whites, bring down the blacks. Now the texture and clarity slider, I like to play around with this. So with the clarity, maybe go to around 24, and then texture 14, or maybe 10 looks good. So this is before, this is after, so it's a lot more rich. And as you can see, if I bring this back, the clarity, this has become more red. Now, I don't know what's happening because I haven't dived into this properly and like did my own research, but it seems that if you have an underexposed image and you go to the clarity slider and bring that up, it's going to darken some of the colors. It's going to desaturate the colors and make this look more brown to black in a way. So just be mindful of that. So we just bring the clarity to that much. We can add clarity around the actual subject. So that's why I'm keeping the clarity a bit low. Go to vibrance, is my favorite part. We just bring this down to around -25. As you can see, it just looks so much better already. Now we go to the tonal curves. This is one of my favorite ways of making my own style edit. Oh, notification. And this is how you can create your own style with the tonal curves. So I like just to do a simple S curve. So just bring down the shadows, bring up the highlights, matte the white. So you see the top bit here, bring that down a bit so it's more matte kind of texture. Same with the shadows, but I bring up the shadows to make it look more grey, more faded. Just bring it over to the side a bit. So as you can see, this is before, this is after. I'm just getting interrupted. Do not disturb on. Okay, so do not disturb zone mode is on. Everyone's being quiet. So yeah, it looks a lot more rich now. Now saturation, this is where you want to get out the key components. So let's say if your subject is like focused on a simple color, that's the color what you want to try bring out. So just press this. If you're not sure what color it is, just press this, go to this. There we go. And as you can see, it's pulling out magenta. So we don't want magenta. We don't want magenta. We don't want purple or blue. Actually, we might need just a bit of blue. Luminance. This is just going to bring out the reds. And as you can see, still very dark. So we're just going to go to, let's just add different stuff now. So let's go to the click remove chromatic aberrations. Aberrations, I've always had trouble with that word. Enable profile corrections. Because my lens, what I was using, isn't calibrated to Lightroom, it doesn't have that option. I'm not bothered to do it manually, so you can tick this option if you have a Sony or any other camera, but I'm just not going to tick it for now. You can level this, make sure it's level, in line with everything. Oh, as you can see, if you're doing something like this, your camera, the like gyroscope in your camera might have some metadata within a raw file, and it'll tell you to correct it like that. So you might want to do it manually. I'm just going to leave that for now. Key bit, you can add it. It's more of a personal preference. I'm going to add a little bit of grain to add more of that film look to it. Like 15 grain, maybe bring up the grain size, roughness, and you can play around the calibrations. Because I'm colorblind, I'm not going to trouble with that, because once I get to somewhere, I just don't know what's going on. So we want to play with the adjustments. So we want to go to the brush tool and just paint over that. Now for me to see what I painted a lot easier, I just keep the exposure up all the way. As you can see, I've just brought up the exposure with the brush tool and brought up the highlights. I'm gonna bring up the shadows as well. See what it looks like all the way up. Yeah, it was just really dark, so when I'm bringing everything up, it's not really looking like it's making a drastic change, but just a little changes help. Like the highlights, just bring this out, bring it, I don't know, bring up the clarity, bring down the clarity. Bring down the clarity just a bit. Bring up saturation because we want that red to pop within the image. And that's looking good, so just enter. And we're going to go to the radius tool, go from the center, just pull out here. So as you can see, it's very overexposed, because that's how I can see what's actually being affected. I think there's a way to change it in Lightroom, but I'm not too sure about that. Just bring down the exposure, not too dark. We don't want it to look a bit wacky. That's looking okay. Bring up the saturation just a bit. I want to try get the browns from the leather. And like as we said on the actual base correction, excuse me, I'll just drink this. Key is to stay hydrated, because times like this, getting a lot warmer, going to be dehydrated a lot more. So as you saw on the base correction, I didn't bring the clarity to an ungodly amount. It's because I wanted to keep the actual subject kind of like good in a way, so it wasn't too dark. As we saw with the brush corrections, we had to bring up the exposure to 4 stops, so quite a lot. And we can just make the outskirts more clarified. As you can see, there's a little bit of hair there. I'm going to leave that in. I'm not going to take that out because I want to add more texture. So that's looking good. So this was before and this is after. Maybe add a little bit more vibrance. I'm going to go to this tool. Forgot what it's called for a sec. But yeah, I forgot what it's called. We just drag this down, bring the exposure to normal. And because the light source was coming from the top and coming down, I'm going to add a tiny bit of exposure and then bring up the temperature. So it's like morning sun's coming in. And then I'll do the same under here, but desaturate it. I mean, not desaturate. I'm going to make it a little bit more underexposed. Bring that back to normal. Bring down the exposure just a bit more. Okay, that's looking good. And as you can see, before, after, everything's looking good. So the next thing we want to do, we just want to crop it for our picture. So this will be going up on Instagram. So it'll be 4x5. And as you can see, it's looking quite nice. You see the details here, and this is where the Lightroom bit ends. But if you want to add a bit more texture, we can take this into Photoshop. I'm going to show you a website. I think some of you might know it. It's called Unsplash. It's where photographers can go and take, well, you can upload pictures like on Instagram, but they're very high quality, and it's free to download, royalty free. So just go to Unsplash. Let's go to wooden texture, something rustic, or even let's do concrete texture. So stuff like this. This is very high quality as well. Let's just download this. Go back into Lightroom. Now, to move a Lightroom file into Photoshop, there's a simple way. Press Ctrl E or Command E, quick like that, and it would open up Photoshop. So we just wait. Alright, we're in Photoshop and we just want to go and find our image, what we just downloaded. So now we just want to go to blend mode. We can go overlay, soft light. There's so many different, just experiment with this bit. So you can go lighten screen. Let's try screen, bring down the opacity. So you can go for something like that. Or what I like to do, I like to go soft light. And that is how I make those rustic images, what's been popping up on my Instagram account. The one with the watch and my lens, that's going to be a part of a preset, what I'm making for myself. But if enough people like this video and put in the comments what presets you want, I might give them away and sell them. So just tell your friends, tell your photographer friends, tell your, I say filmmaker friends, but if they want like a good preset, if they're editing pictures, you tell them. And I don't know, maybe if I get, alright, here's a like goal. If I get 25 to 30 likes, I might give away one of my presets. So if you guys did like this video, please like, comment and subscribe. And if you haven't, go to my Instagram account at GreaterByTheHour and my Twitter. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, because I'm going to try to upload a lot more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.